Okay, so what if I told you the secret to running your fastest race ever isn't to start fast, but to start slow? I know, it sounds completely backwards, right? But it's a strategy that's backed by a ton of physiological data and proven by some of the best runners in the world. Today, we're going to dig into the science of the negative split.
Let's just kick things off with this pretty stark number. According to performance data, a whopping 92% of marathoners don't pace the race correctly. They get caught up in the excitement, start way too fast, and burn through all their energy, and then they hit that wall we all dread. And look, this isn't a failure of effort. Not at all. It's a failure of energy management.
And here's the crucial takeaway. Pacing isn't some magical talent you're born with. It's a skill. It's something you can train, and it's all driven by data. The whole goal is to learn how to start out conservatively, nice and controlled, so you can finish fast. That's how you move from being in that 92% to absolutely mastering your race.
So to really understand the solution, we first have to understand the options on the table. When you get down to it, there are really only 3 ways you can pace a race. Let's break them down. This is our core concept right here, the negative split. It's actually super simple. You run the second half of the race faster than you ran the first half. But, and this is key, we're not talking about a massive, all-out sprint at the end. The sweet spot, according to all the research, is the second half that's just 1 to 3% faster. See, it's a game of precision, not brute force. This table lays it all out so clearly. It shows you the risk you're taking with each strategy. Now that positive split, that's the one most of us do by accident. The goal is to bank time, right? Go out fast and build a cushion. But look at that risk profile. High risk of glycogen depletion. That's literally the data-driven reason for hitting the wall. Now compare that to the negative split, which is all about energy conservation. It's just a much, much smarter bet. Theory is great, but the proof is in the data. So let's look at a real-world example where the numbers are just impossible to argue with. We're going to break down the splits from the late, great Kelvin Kiptum's marathon world record at the 2023 Chicago Marathon. So get this. He ran the first half marathon in 1 hour and 45 seconds. On its own, that is an unbelievably fast time. Most elite runners would be absolutely thrilled with that. But you know what? That's only half the story. And this is where the power of this strategy just becomes crystal clear. His second half was a blistering 59 minutes and 50 seconds. That means he ran a 55-second negative split. Think about that. He was accelerating at the point in the race when most runners are just trying to hold on. That precise energy management is exactly what a world record is made of. So you've seen what it is, but now let's talk about why it works. We're going to get into the actual science here, the physiological reasons that make this strategy so incredibly effective. And it really all comes down to how your body uses fuel.
The number one reason negative splits work is something scientists call the glycogen preservation advantage. Think of glycogen as the high-octane fuel for running. And here's the catch. You've only got a limited supply in the tank. Your body can store roughly 1,800 to 2,000 calories worth of glycogen in your muscles and your liver. For a massive effort like a marathon, that's your entire fuel tank. It is a finite resource. Once it's empty, it's empty.
Now, let's do some simple math. If you're burning about 100 calories a mile, that 2,000-calorie tank is going to run dry somewhere around mile 18 to 20. Does that mile marker sound familiar? Yeah, this isn't just a feeling. It's a metabolic reality. It's the physiological reason for hitting the wall.
And just look at how this plays out on the chart. It's a huge difference. With the positive split, your glycogen level just takes a nosedive. You're burning through your fuel way, way too fast. But with a negative split, look at how much more gradual that decline is. It's controlled. You're rationing your fuel to make sure you have enough left for a powerful finish. And hey, it's not just about the fuel. There are so many other physiological wins. Starting slower helps you manage your core body temperature better, it keeps your heart rate from spiking too early, and it helps you maintain good, efficient running form for much longer. And maybe best of all, it actually makes the effort feel easier for a bigger part of the race. Who doesn't want that? Okay, so the science is clear. But knowing this stuff isn't the same as actually doing it. So how do you train your body, and just as importantly your brain, to actually execute this on race day? Let's get into the practical side of things.
The research, the coaches, they all point to one foundational workout, the progression run. This whole session is designed specifically to teach you how to accelerate when you're already tired. That's the very definition of a negative split, right?
Here's a classic data-driven example. It's a 45-minute progression run.
You start with 10 minutes at an easy warm-up pace. Then you spend the next 3 blocks, 10 minutes each, systematically getting faster, from your marathon pace to your half-marathon pace, and finally to your 10K pace, before a 5-minute cooldown. This workout literally simulates the exact feeling you need to master for the end of a race.
So let's compare the two approaches on race day. You've got the hope-based plan. That's when you go out too fast with the crowd and then just try to hang on for dear life. Then you have the data-based plan. This is precise. You start 10 to 15 seconds per mile slower than your goal pace, and you gradually build up. The result? You're not the one suffering through that final 10K. You're the one pushing past everybody else.
And really, this gets to the heart of it all. This is a psychological challenge. The adrenaline on race day is going to be screaming at you to go faster at the start. You're going to see everyone else flying past you. But success here comes from trusting the cold, hard numbers from your training log, not the emotions of the starting line. So, I'll leave you with this question for your next race. Take a good, hard look at your strategy. Is it just based on hope? Or is it based on data? Are you using the science of energy management to build a plan that sets you up to finish strong? The numbers suggest that answer could be the key to your next personal best.